5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. I might cry during this. Just a warning for viewers, for you. 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah. It does feel like that, and it doesn't in a way. Like, I mean, there's a lot obviously happened since then. With the whole of the Klopp era, obviously Brendan's
demise,
rise and fall, and yeah, but at the same time, yeah, I can close my eyes and feel like I'm there. Yeah, it's Liverpool 5, Arsenal 1. By the way, we're talking about it's 5 years on
5 years
on this day, and what a time to be alive it was.
It's unbelievable. I do the thing where I say, what's the best night out of your life? Have you had the best night out of your life? Yeah, which is all very grim in a sense. I literally do it as a grim thing. Have you had the best night out of your life yet? Do you think you have? If so, you know, how does that make you feel? If not, when do you think it's going to come? Because there will be one best night out of your life. There will be that one thing. This could be the best day. I think it's fair to say. Yeah, it was. It was unreal. It was one of those fabulous moments in a football ground where you can't quite believe what you're seeing. And, you know, I think we need to remember the kind of context of going into this game. Arsenal were top of the league. They had the best defensive record in the league. 8 points clear, I think. And we just kind of absolutely destroyed them. I've been reading, me and Neil wrote this book after it, Make Us Dream, the story of 13-14. And I've been reading, and me and you have got a chapter in there. But I think my favourite is Ben McCausland's. Yep. And I just want to read out the start for you. 20 minutes into this game against the Premier League leaders, and Daniel Sturridge stood, chest out, arrogantly eyeballing the Anfield road end as bedlam erupts all around him. 20 minutes into this game against the Premier League's tightest defence, we have scored 4 times. 20 minutes into this game against the Premier League's tightest defence, and we could have scored 8. So this is what 88 must have looked like. By the way, Sturridge misses an easy one than the one he scores. And there's the Suarez one that hits the post, bounces back. Torre should score the rebound. It's the greatest goal never scored by Suarez. Anyway, so this is what 88 must have looked like. This is the best 20 minutes of football I've ever seen. In fact, this is the best 20 minutes of anything I've ever seen. It was the best 20 minutes of anything I had ever seen. And even now, and I don't think it will ever quite be bettered. It was the sheer pace and ferocity of them, John, and the amount of space they just seem to be able to find. And I don't think that's something I think it would be easy to say, well, did Arsenal turn up and were they a bit naive and etc, etc. But I just think that, I mean, I've got no idea what that dressing room must have been like pre-match, because they absolutely tore into them. Yeah, I mean, you say sort of naive. I think that was the first time we'd seen anything quite like that from this Liverpool team, and we get it kind of a few more times between now and the end of the season. I mean, they've beaten teams and they've beaten teams well. They had a 5-0 at Arsenal, didn't they, where they ripped into Arsenal, but it wasn't like that was happening every week. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Tottenham, you mean? Tottenham, sorry, Tottenham. Yeah, but it wasn't. And also, you know, that was kind of more... It was spread over 90 minutes, wasn't it? It wasn't this early 20 blitz where we're just going to get at you. When they came at us like a team who were top of the league, with the confidence of a team who hadn't conceded many, but they just always seemed to be so much space, and we tactically got it brilliant that day. I think what Brendan's not known for his kind of tactics, really, if you like, is he's not seen as a tactical manager, but I thought what he ddid... Just ridiculous. I thought what he did with Suarez and Sturridge in that period, in terms of how he rotated them, how he, you know, so yep. Suarez left that one and Sturridge wasn't, because he knew what Sturridge you get behind, and then the next week you might see Sturridge because he had a kind of another idea of how we were going to get at them, and I thought that was great. And yeah, the whole team just absolutely unreal, and I just remember laughing at kind of what we were, the ridiculous of what we were watching. It was unbelievable. It was the key things to take from the game. One, Suarez doesn't score. Skrtel gets a brace, Sterling gets a brace, and Sturridge scores the goal, and as John said, he had a tougher chance. So Suarez doesn't score any of Liverpool's 5 against Arsenal. That's not to mean that he wasn't absolutely fantastic. He was. They all were. I remember Coutinho absolutely dominating midfield in conjunction with Henderson. You know, it was that period where Gerrard had sit deepest, and it was Coutinho and Henderson and Sterling, Suarez and Sturridge. But it was like, Gerrard, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he played badly or anything like that, but it was like the ball was never even getting to him, is one of the things I remember. Like Henderson and Coutinho were just not letting anything past. So Gerrard was left to... He gives that penalty away, doesn't he? Because I think he just got bored. Yeah, he just throws a mad one in. He just throws a mad one in at some point and just goes, it doesn't matter this, does it, lads? And no, it didn't. As John says, the way Suarez and Sturridge interchanged was absolutely fantastic. Just the way Liverpool appreciated space and their own ability all over the pitch. There's this sort of... The number of times the ball, they appeared to go past people, and in my head, the photographs of them going past people without them really touching the ball. Arsenal are anticipating someone's going to knock it that way, and just with a little little feint, suddenly the ball's in, and they've got these acres of space to exploit, and suddenly there's Sturridge, and there's the arms, and there's Bedlam, as you know, as is said there. There's just this. It was, and the thing about it was, and sort of from a mini sort of personal level, you know, being sort of the view all the way through the season that this side could win the title, and it was a bit make or break this day. You know, it's early February.
Well, I just checked in. It actually comes after the 1-0 draw against West Brom.
Yeah,
which
felt like a hammer blow.
Yeah, it did feel like a hammer blow, and there's obviously the Kolo Toure mistake, and Victor Adeshivi of all people kind of scored it, and that felt like a real blow there. And then my chapters in this is actually kind of relevant to today when it's talking about not getting wound up by what other people are saying your team can and can't do. And I think we're getting a lot of that as Liverpool fans at the moment, aren't we? You know, this is, I mean, the title of the chapter I've written is no one goes from 7th to 1st. You're like, well, you're 7th for last. No one goes from 7th to 1st. You're like, well, why not? And we're getting a lot of that now as well, you know, Liverpool. You've never challenged. Why were you going to suddenly come, you know, from 4th last year to 1st? Oh, you know, Man City too strong. And these group of players, like those ones, to be fair, kind of believed that it was possible, and very nearly did it.
Very nearly did it. It came really, really close. But it's not about that on this day. It's about the sheer sense of wonder and possibility that stemmed out of the day. The way in which you could be overwhelmed by what footballers could do, the way in which your football could indeed be the best 20 minutes of your life, and not some sort of graft, not something to put up with, but instead something to go crazy about. I remember watching that game. There was a moment where in the first half I was watching it and I was thinking, God, they get a corner and I don't think about whether or not they're going to score. I think about how we're going to score. They've got a corner, and I'm literally thinking to myself, we can score from this. How are we going to do that? And that is, listen, that's been going on time immemorial in football, the idea of counter-attacking, but in many senses, not in England like this. You know, it was a throwback to United when they go to Norwich, going right the way back to '92. A throwback to some of the very finest moments, and I mean the very finest moments of Wenger's Arsenal with Bergkamp and Henry, that sort of level. It was that level of performance. It was the performance of champions, but not just champions, but people who redefine the way football's played in this country. And that was all in that performance that day, plus loads and loads and loads of laughing.
Should we leave it there?
My face hurt by the end of it, and then we went for a pint on London Road. See you later.